Welcome to Before the Show, where the amps are warming up and the stage is always set for one hell of a night. I'm Bobby.
I'm Jeff.
And we're bringing you exclusive backstage access to the artists hitting the stage here at the Vixen in McHenry. Before the crowd rushes in and the show gets started, we're diving deep, talking music, life on the road, and the stories behind the artists and the songs.
Let's go.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm pretty good. So we are going to bring on our guest here in just a second, but I would love for you to tell everybody about this show that we announced just today that's coming out here in October.
We're doing an amazing fundraiser for Lurie's Children's Hospital and Pete Durbin, who's in Jagged Little Pill and a bunch of other tribute bands. He's in every band. Anyways, he called me with an idea. He wanted to do a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. So he's getting all of his Chicagoland musician friends on Sunday,
October 19th.
October 19th. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why I have you here. Sunday, October 19th, and all proceeds will go to Lurie's Children's Hospital, and we're going to play all kinds of cool Ozzy tunes, different takes on them, different spins, and also kind of cool, Pete's two very talented boys, their band is going to open up the show with a couple of Black Sabbath tunes, and they're I think they're in junior high. They're little guys still, but
oh, really?
I've
Cool.
been watching them on Facebook, and it's fun, and they're going to have a great time, and we're going to have a great time.
I think it's going to be a great show.
Tickets
and if
are on sale now for that one.
I know, looking at the list of people that were coming from different bands, if you are local out here in McHenry, you're going to see some people that you go out and watch for sure. There's just tons of people cooperating. All right, awesome. And then we've got some really big shows coming up that I think we should mention too before we jump in here, like Taylor Holder on October 17th.
Taylor Holder on October 17th. If you don't know, Taylor Holder is the most watched and most viewed country star on all of TikTok. That's a pretty big thing.
Yeah, and I saw him last year, and he's also really awesome.
He is
He's got high energy, and it was such a good show. So October 17th for that one, and then we've got Mushroom Head on October 28th.
We have Mushroom Head. We have I don't know the dates, so you're gonna have to help me with this.
Yeah, I got some.
Black Flag.
We have Black Flag coming, but I don't remember that date. That's in
October. It's in October.
It's October. We have a really exciting show in October for Halloween.
Yeah, we have Everclear, Local H, and Sponge, and there's only a very small amount of tickets left for that one, so you want to make sure you get those because that will sell out. I hate saying that, but it will sell out.
I know, yeah, it will sell out for sure. For sure. And then some big ones in November too. So Saving Abel, November 20th, and Howie Day on November 21st. Which I just love the diversity of all the people that are on our stage. It's pretty cool.
We'll try.
Yeah, which is a perfect lead-in for our guest today because this is a kind of a different genre of music, I feel like, than we have here a lot too. So with that, I'll let you introduce our guests.
We're going to bring on our friends in Raynes, and they're playing here October 2nd.
There you go.
I got it.
There,
yes.
7th. October 2nd.
October
yes.
7th.
October. No. October 2nd.
October 2nd.
Doors open at 7. That's
Thank
the
you.
7. That's the 7. Oh, look.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the
Thank you,
balloons.
Joe. That you know what? That's the most accolades I've gotten all day. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
We're excited to have you here. You're a newer band, at least a newer for us. Why don't you tell us a little bit? When did you guys get together? Was it late teens, early 20s?
I mean, we've been. Yeah, Matt, you go ahead.
That's yeah. It's a good question because we all got together when we were roughly in our early 20s. So we've been together for almost 8 years, I think, but we are still a new band. I think we would all kind of consider ourselves that because Mark's from England, clearly, and so for the first few years we had some, we had to get his visa, and then there was COVID, and all this stuff kept happening, and so we weren't able to actually get on the road until just in the last 18 months or so, 2 years, something like that. So yeah, we're a new band, but excited to get out to McHenry.
So how did you guys meet, Matt? That he was across the pond and that you guys are playing together now. What started that relationship?
How much time do you have? No, so we always say, we've got a 4-hour long version, but the condensed version is simply Joe and I met in college. Joe just walked up to me and introduced himself, and we started making music together. But so Joe and I can both sing, but not like lead singers sing, right? So we knew we needed a lead singer. So we ended up looking on the internet. We put out ads on Craigslist and all kinds of stuff. And this is the long story short part. We ended up finding Mark on Instagram. I saw a video of him singing and playing something, and I was like, that guy's really handsome and he's got a beautiful voice. We should have him be the lead singer of a band. Yeah, so I messaged him, and what was it, Mark? Like, I think 10 days later, after that initial outreach, I think you were on a flight to LA.
Yeah. So from my perspective, I was, doing music in some capacity back home in England, and always wanted to join a band, but never really had the opportunity to, or because I'm from just outside Newcastle in the northeast of England. So some pretty cool musicians and some good opportunities, but certainly has its limitations. And I didn't really know what I was doing at that point. So this came at a really good time. And yeah, within 10 days of Matt reaching out and Joe reaching out to me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get on this plane and go to LA for the first time and just take a chance. And thank God we did.
I love that story. That's very cool.
So, being from England, I know you opened for Ringo Starr a couple shows at least. How was that? I mean, obviously, anyone, I don't care what country you're from, you open up for Ringo, you're going to be in awe. But for you, I'm sure it had even a little bit more of a special feel to it. What was that experience like?
Oh yeah, that was incredible. Once we found out we were going to open up for Ringo and his All Star Band, that was just one of those moments where you go, "This is going to be quite the experience." Not everyone can say they've opened up for a Beatle, so that was pretty cool. We didn't get a chance to actually meet him in person, but yeah, just seeing him that close on stage and still got it. So that was incredible to witness.
Yeah, was that show in Illinois?
It was. It was in
New
Joe,
New
help
Lenox,
me
I
out,
think,
Lenox.
Matt.
right?
New Lenox. That's right.
Yeah,
New Lenox.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that because I was thinking of going to New Lenox is quite a drive from us, but I was thinking of going to that show, um, but I didn't go. But I remember that show, and I didn't realize that you guys were the opening act until I started doing a little research on you before this, and I thought, oh, that's they opened up for Ringo, cool man.
That
And
is
You
pretty
should
Yeah.
have
you
come. We
also
both
opened
did
up for one
great.
of and you also opened up for one of our favorite bands here that we have here all the time, a band called Yachtly Crew, who's a great friends of ours and a great band. So that's a cool show to play with too.
I got a pick
Yeah,
from that
they're
show.
You did.
Yeah, I'm a
they're
big fan
great.
of that.
So how did
Yeah.
going to the Yachtly Crew thing? How does I mean, you guys are not yacht rock, right? There's no way you're even close to yacht rock. So how did that those two meld together, and how did that show come together?
Joe, take this.
I was like,
Well,
Brian, cut out that
I think
pause.
we lost
It was
audience.
silence.
no, that's okay. I'll tell you what, we share the same agent, and when we really started to get serious about touring as an original band, uh, our agent Jim thought it'd be good for us to be a direct support or a special guest of a band with a pretty established um, fan base in some areas where we already were sort of creating our own fan base, and it was just a great opportunity, and we're glad that we're sure glad that we said yes to that, because those Yachtly guys and their whole crew, they're probably our friends for life. So
Oh,
They are great, and we touched a little bit. What do you guys classify yourself as? Genre wise. I mean, your style. It's a little bit different. I kind of call it folky a little bit, but it's kind of a little bit electronic. What do you guys
Yeah.
do? You guys classify yourself as anything? Do you have a name for it?
No. At this point,
No.
honestly, we don't call it anything. It's funny. I saw Mark and Joe don't even know this, but like half an hour ago, I
Oh
was
wow.
looking, I'm doing the name checks on social media and stuff, and somebody had listed like a bunch of albums that had come out, and every last one of them had, the album name and the artist, and then in parentheses the genre, and there were like 40 albums, and then they had ours, and we were the only artists on the list that they did not even try to put a genre on it.
Oh really?
So
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, so we've given up trying to call it anything.
I think you should take pride in that. I think
yeah.
that's a really cool thing that you can't be pigeonholed. You can't be put in one basket. I think that's awesome. That's what makes it fun. I mean, I wasn't really aware of you guys until your agent Jim brought you up to me 6-8 months ago, and I said, "Oh, I never heard of them. I'll take a listen." And as soon as I listened to you guys, I was like, "Oh, I got to have these guys out at the Vix." And I love what you're doing. I really do. And since
Thank
then,
you.
I've turned friends on to it, and some of our staff here at the Vixen have listened to you and keep on telling us how excited they are to have you. So we're really looking forward to the show next week.
Oh, we can't wait. We really can't wait. It's our first time coming through McHenry, and yeah, we're very excited. It's funny about the genre thing, I think, because we didn't try to be genreless in a sense. I think we all just have we have similar tastes but very different influences. I think all three of us grew up we just have different influences musically, and I think, but in a way, it's all come together, and the synergy of our differing influences has sort of created this weird and wonderful and genreless music, but also pretty accessible. It's not like we're doing some crazy experimental stuff. It's pretty easy listening for the most part. But yeah, it's for whatever reason it's worked. Maybe it shouldn't.
So building off of that,
Yeah.
each one of you guys, what is your? We'll start with you, Joe. What is your favorite genre? Where do you come from? What do you listen to? Uh, let's talk about that.
Right now, and for the past few years, I've been on a pretty big country music kick. But I grew up, I'm not in the country necessarily. North Dakota is a much different place, but I grew up with a very like Western background. So country music was always a big part of that. But I also like was obsessed with hip hop music and like pop music and specifically girl pop music. Um, and yeah, I don't know, it just changes every day, I guess. But right now, I'd say country is the genre that I listen to most of the time. Next.
Next.
Next, is that me?
That's
Yeah,
you.
you go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think for me, so I grew up. Here's my fun fact. I am one of 12 kids,
Oh
and
my
the
gosh.
and the oldest Irish Catholic. You know how it goes. And the oldest six of us were all in a bluegrass band when we were growing up. We all played the violin. I was in a bunch of like in orchestras, and then in high school, I think I was the lead singer of like 6 different like emo pop punk bands at the same time. So I mean, really, like I always say my main like influences are Kate Bush, Peter Gabriel, the Beach Boys, etc. But I've been doing a lot. I've been playing, I guess, a lot of different stuff for a long time, so that all definitely seeps into the whole Raynes experience. Next.
That's what I was waiting. I was waiting for my cue. Thank you, man. No, for me, I grew up primarily. I was sort of a classical musician for a while. I grew up playing classical piano when I was a kid, and then I got thrown into school choirs, so a lot of choral singing originally, and then I went into musical theatre initially. So that was kind of my first foray into music in some facets. But then when I was around 14, 15, I just started falling in love with guitar music, and I became a huge John Mayer fan. And John Mayer was like a real soundtrack of my sort of teenage years. So, a lot of emotion, a lot of strong feelings during that time. And then besides that, I think just pop music is in general, I've been a huge fan of. Ed Sheeran, massive fan of his, and bands like the Lumineers, Mumford and Sons, which we sometimes get compared to or put in the same world as every now and again. Coldplay, huge fan of them. Just kind of great arena sing-along music. Just music to make you feel something, which I know spans many genres. But yeah, I've always said I like to just feel something with music, and those are the artists that have done that. But I also love the '80s too. I'm a huge '80s guy. More recently than not, I've become obsessed with the '80s for some reason. But that's just more recent.
You'll fit in well here in McHenry. I feel like we're a real
Yeah.
80s community for some reason.
They haven't left the 80s here.
No, it's just it's interesting. Jeff and I have been doing musical things together for a long time, and it always comes right back to 80s music.
You
80s
can't
rock.
beat it. You can't beat it.
Uh-huh. So you guys have a new album out. I'm assuming that's why you're touring, called 49. And for a group of young guys, this was inspired by the gold rush. So I'm really interested in hearing a little bit about how that kind of came to be, and kind of how that became the inspiration for you to create new music.
Yeah, so I think with that it's interesting because we've put out a number of I don't know, EPs or albums or whatever you call them. I know Apple Music calls them an album if they have over 7 songs or something. But that one we did, it was all songs that we had written kind of in the earlier days altogether. And then we ended up kind of thinking about, I don't know, the parallels between us, trying to make it, and then we were all living in California, a couple of years ago, all in LA together, and so we're like, oh, there's something here. So yeah, we released that one, and then actually even more recently we released an EP called Bloom. So we've got that one as well. But yeah, I think the idea of just attempting to make it right in the music industry is tough and sort of a bad idea, but but you can it's possible, and so that's where the kind of the inspiration for that stemmed from, I think.
Oh, that's great. How about the name? I'm curious. Actually, Jeff told me he read about it, but he didn't share with me. I would love to hear where the name came from.
You actually wouldn't, because it's a really boring story. It's funny. We often get asked this question, and there's an inside joke running between us where we say we need to make up a new story that's more interesting. Because, I mean, very long story short, we were trying to figure out a name for a long time, and it's quite a just laborious process. We were figuring out names that we kind of like, but then we realized that an 80s Amsterdam-based rock band who haven't put out music in 30 years had this name and had the Instagram handle. We're like, oh, we can't use that. So anyway, we had a few parameters of which we wanted to stay within, and we wanted something plural, ideally, one syllable, and just impactful. Those were the parameters of which we wanted to work within, and we just sort of were spitballing ideas. And very long story short, I went to school with a girl called Raynes, and I had no relationship with her. She was just purely a peer at school.
Peer.
And yeah, and her name was spelled Raine without the Y. And I was like, oh, Rain. And we put an S at the end of it and thought, oh, that sounds pretty cool. But it didn't look right. So we changed one of the letters to a Y. And then we all sort of thought, after months of trying to figure out a name, all three of us went, Raynes. Pretty cool. And then we stuck with it.
Does she know the band's named after her?
I highly doubt it.
Well, that is how. I mean, that's a terrible story. I agree with you, Mark. Like,
it's awful.
Well, because you don't even know her. You just went to school with her.
Actually, yeah, she was like she was a few years below me in school, and I don't think I've uttered more than a few words to
her. So there you go.
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Well, here we got a really big surprise. Here she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Oh.
Can you imagine?
So one of the things that when because I had not, just similar to Jeff, had not come across your music before Jeff booked it, and it ended up on my desk to start putting things together. I was reading you guys have some of your music in some TV commercials and television shows, and which I thought was really interesting because I feel like everybody's always going for that song that's playing on the radio, not really always thinking about all the other opportunities there are to have your music heard and influence people. So how did some of those opportunities come to be?
Yeah, those were. I mean, it's interesting. I think. Well, this might be another sort of scattershot answer, honestly, because so we're signed with Sony Music, and we have
Hmm.
been for a few years, and they're great. But they license the catalog, so there have been a lot of things that like we know have been in a number of commercials and shows or whatever. And every now and then, I think even like what was it, a couple of years ago, someone was like, "Oh, your song was playing on this commercial in Ireland," and we're like, "Oh, we had no idea."
No idea.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll say the so those are sync placements, they call them. And if you can get one of those, or a lot of those, it's a good way. It's a good like source of income, but it's also a cool way to reach another audience, because a lot of people, of course, are like engaged music listeners are listening to Spotify, Apple, whatever else. But sometimes, I mean, and I know, like, I definitely have often heard a song on a TV show commercial and been like, what is that? So it's cool to kind of break it out of the streaming platform space and possibly reach some new ears.
Excellent. I feel like I'm taking over, but I
No,
have
no.
thoughts. All right. So for somebody who is coming to see you, maybe hasn't seen you before, and their first experience with your music is going to be here at the Vixen, and we want to convince them to come out and check out the show, what would you tell them that they could expect, and why they should be here?
So bring your seatbelts and strap in and get ready for one heck of an experience, because that's what it is. It's truly like at a Raynes show, and I'll let the guys delve into that further. But it's we're really an experience to see live, and I'd like to hear what Mark and Matt have to say about that wonderful experience.
If you enjoy three emotionally available men playing playing some great tunes with really high energy, then you'll have a great time.
We probably just sold out with the
Yes.
emotionally available. And that was it. Thank you. That was the
There you
ticket.
go. No, of
That's
course.
the tagline.
And Mark is so handsome, so I would come for that, honestly.
Oh, it's so
Excellent.
beautiful.
All right. Well, we're really excited to have you guys. And before we let you off the hook here and remind everybody to go get their tickets and come and join us, vixenmchenry.com. You'll find everything you need to know to get those tickets. But we like to do this little lightning round of just weirdo questions. So maybe we'll go through and ask each one of you one. Nothing. No, we might put them on the spot. You never know. You never
Do
know.
it.
All right. I'm going to go first because I have one for Joe. What is the weirdest thing a fan or someone watching you has ever given to you as a gift or given to you surrounding your show?
One time in the UK, a fan wanted all of us to draw a fish in a notebook for her, and I'd put a little cowboy hat on the fish and put a little cigarette in its mouth, and I just like, what an autograph, you know?
Huh. She took that to her psychology class and has been
I
analyzing you ever since.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right, next.
Next.
What is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you during a performance?
Who is this for me?
Yeah, it's for you. I'm sorry, we're looking at you in boxes.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
were
gotcha,
next.
gotcha.
Left to right.
I gotta be honest with you, nothing.
Nothing.
I am
Pass.
killing it every time. Mark and Joe, you can vouch for me. What's happened? Tell me.
There is one thing that.
Oh, when I fell into the drum set.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you. You know what? Sorry, I forgot about that. I must have erased that from my memory. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, okay, no, I'll tell you. I'm fine with it. Grand
It was a
Rapids,
beautiful moment.
yeah, no, it was great. And I had a couple drinks, but not like that many. But I often wear like 4 to 6 inch heels on stage. That's another reason to come to the show. And I was walking around the stage and I was just like on Joe's side because I'm on, what am I, Joe? Stage left?
Something like that. Yeah,
Something
your
like that.
stage
I'm on the
left.
opposite side of Joe.
Yeah.
And I was wandering around and like tripping over chords and just really getting into the moment. And then I wouldn't say I like fell into the drum set, but like I didn't fall, but I definitely leaned way too hard back into it. And you know what? The reason I don't say that's embarrassing is because I was fine with it. Like I think the show continued. No big deal.
I loved it. I loved it.
That's awesome. All right. Next, well, this one's for you, Mark. Let's see. Do you have a pre-show ritual or before you go on stage, something that you always have to do to get yourself prepped and psyched?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably not as funny or interesting as the other two answers, but I'm a huge sort of warden when it comes to vocal warm-ups. So I'm obviously doing my vocal warm-ups, and shout out to Annabelle Williams. We were on a TV show in England a long time ago, and she was the head vocal coach, and she has this app that we use for vocal warm-ups, and I'm always getting Matt and Joe to do them with me. We all sing together, and maybe a shot of Pendleton or two if we're feeling good. But no, nothing too crazy. We get ourselves nice and warmed up, and then we give ourselves a little hug every now and again. Actually, no, every show. What I'm talking about, we always hug each other.
Every show, yeah.
And then,
we're emotionally available.
Yes, exactly. And then we just get out there. Oh, actually, wait, no, I forgot something. We always write down our set list handwritten, which ends up often being about 2 minutes before the show because we always forget to do it. So there's a fun fact for everyone.
There you go. And that's less of a ritual and more of just a mistake every time.
Yes.
From a ritual.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great interview. I'm glad we got to meet you guys. I feel like my perception of what the show is going to be before and after this has changed a little bit. I'm really excited. It sounds like a whole lot of energy and a lot of good vibes coming through just talking with you guys.
The emotionally available Raynes.
Exactly, right? That's going to be when I start promoting this. It's going to be, hey, 3 emotionally available men coming to the Vixen. We'll have everybody in town here.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we're really looking forward to the show. Again, October 2nd. It's a Thursday night. Thursday. Come on out, everybody.
All ages show.
All ages
Doors
show.
at 7:00.
Absolutely. All right. Anything you guys want to say before we wrap this one up?
Also, I think I'm right in saying that Lennon Vanderdoes is opening up for us as well. And he was on The Voice. He's got an incredible voice. I mean, he really does. So hopefully we are reason enough to come. But if we aren't quite cutting it for you, he should be the reason to come.
Absolutely.
It's available as well. You know?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'd have to speak to him again.
Yeah, I was lying. I honestly don't know either.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. We can't wait to see you next week, and safe travels.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.